That's a 30-seconder, not the usual couple-minute one that we used to get. So at any rate, feeling a little bit under the weather today. A little tired. I got something going on, like a pinched nerve or something, and it's really aggravating me. So let me see here. We'll go ahead and get this thing rolling. Sorry, I'm running a bit late, and normally I try to get in here and get this all set up ahead of time, but better late than never. Which, it's only 4 minutes late. Only 4 minutes late. Give people time to get in here. Got the link pinned at the top. New things. Hey, down here it's getting close to swarm season. I didn't put the table out today. It was in like 36, 38 this morning. So table did not. Well, the table is out. Bob did not go out this morning. Yeah, we're supposed to. We are supposed to get the storm this weekend. Or at least that's what they're calling for, but they're always wrong. Always wrong. Like, it was supposed to be sunny today. When I looked out of the window, it did not look sunny at all. And it did eventually get sunny, but it was not sunny this morning. Let me share something exciting with you guys. So, I had one of my customers stopped, and she this was yesterday. Stopped yesterday. She FaceTimed her sister in, who lives in another area of the country. And then today, her sister placed an order. So I got a box going out to her tomorrow. So that's always fun. Always fun. Is everybody doing all right today? Trying to read. Everyone's just saying, hey, 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 hey. Cool. I have not really talked to Brad today that much. A couple messages. Haven't talked to Big Mike today. I haven't talked to anybody today, to be honest with you. Just kind of hanging out. So, I've got, and now we're talking to the traditional, hey, James, talking the traditional sense here in about 3 weeks. And the reason that's is so important for me, 3 weeks will be February 14th-ish. February 14th is usually go time here. That's when it really starts to ramp up. A lot of people do their splits around that time. So we are getting close. One brood cycle away, if you will. And it's decided it wants to be cold. So that, hey, Pastor Larry and Miss Jan. And so we are one brood cycle away, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're calling snow for us. So we'll see. We'll see if it happens. I posted a picture up not too long ago. It was about 15 years ago. We had a really substantial, for us, substantial snow. But anyway, the link is up top, guys. You know how we do. If nothing happens, we get out of here. If nothing happens, we get out of here. So if you want to live, we got to get a chat going. We got to get one going. Hey, and just like that, it's that cat man at Faith Apiaries.
Me and Mr. Bootsy.
We almost match. You're wearing black though, right? I'm wearing dark green.
I'm wearing black. I'm wearing black with a cat. What do you call that?
A cat
accent.
A cat cozy.
My ensemble.
Just hang him around your neck. It'll look like a stole.
It just brings it all together.
You're coordinated.
Yeah, something like that.
So, I'm excited for you. I'm really excited for you. Yep. Tomorrow is the big day. If I remember.
Tomorrow is a big day.
Tomorrow is a big day.
I've been working all day today, getting ready for tomorrow, the big day.
That's exciting for me because obviously, well, I'm not going to spill it. I'm going to let you spill it. I'm trying, and if I go too long, I'll let it go. So I'm going to let you let it go.
I wanted to see how long I could go without you letting it
What it
spill.
was?
Yeah. Tomorrow's big day. Doing some deliveries tomorrow. Going to the packer. Usual thing. Yada yada yada. Except one little twist. Well, two little twists actually.
Come
Two
on,
very important
baby, let's
two
do
very
the twist.
two very important twists. You watched my videos lately. You know I went out selling to some stores. Well, two of those three stores have placed orders, and tomorrow's delivery day. So tomorrow's big day,
First delivery day.
first delivery day. So tomorrow, two more major retailers come on board with my product. So
Well,
I'm really pumped about that.
I am too, because we've talked, and without giving your business out too much, and we don't know what those two stores will actually do. All we have is like averages on what the other same chain store
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
and that is almost 10% increase. Probably more with the second store, because I think when we talked about it, it was the first store.
I guess you could look at it that way. Again,
Volume.
really hard to tell.
It's
Real,
volume, not
yeah,
profit.
really hard to tell um, because it's the same chain, but
A
the
different
one
location.
store is in a city of I don't know what is it 10,000, and the other's in a city of 800,000. So
Yeah, it could be 10 times that store. You don't know.
don't know, don't know. The stores like physical size, the stores are a bit bigger. They're maybe 50% bigger.
Yeah, but the
So
traffic.
well, traffic in a store is usually commensurate with the square footage uh, in the store. So it's hard to say, right?
You might be able, and I don't know if you want to, but you might be able to alleviate some of your actual deliveries to people's houses. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
You could say, hey, well, now I'm in this store in your neighborhood.
yeah. Now, there's going to be a limited impact on that. Um, I definitely use that in my sales pitch when I go in. I say, look, I've got customers in your area. I want to bring them into your store, right? So that really helps convince them. They don't need much convincing. They're very welcoming.
Right.
Um, but honestly, the stores don't carry pails, and most of my delivery customers order pails, right? So I don't know how big an impact it'll make. It might cut down on
What
excuse me,
the?
You should have had his V8.
deliveries. Hey, James.
Hi, hi, guys. I
Hey,
don't know
I think
why it does
I
this.
think James been drinking.
hey, James, take yourself back out and see, like when you come in, it asks what setting, like landscape
Portrait. Okay, let's
or
try that.
portrait, and see if that'll. You might have to read down though.
Yep.
So pretty stoked about that. And honestly, um, I didn't plan for it because they placed their initial orders and they're very good initial orders. And I got looking at my inventory and I thought, oh no, I don't know if I have enough honey. So
I'm
my
I
inventory right here
I'm
at
the
the
same way.
is
I've been thank you.
pretty low.
I've been strategically lazy this week. I don't know if that is even makes sense to anybody.
Strategically lazy.
Well,
That's doing only what you have to.
no, I'm rationing at the moment, if that makes sense. Because of the situation I'm in with logistics. To give you the backstory, everybody, I've been religiously ordering more honey on Mondays because I can get it by Wednesday. I can bottle it up. I can have it warmed and bottled up by Saturday morning. Saturday, Sunday are my biggest days, and then I can just fill as needed the rest of the week. So I am only ordering. it's 120 pounds at a time, right? So it's not a little bit. It's 2 buckets at a time, 2 buckets a week. And I've been going through that. Now with the bad weather, I had a little surplus. So last Monday when I ordered, I'm like, it'll be here by Wednesday, yada, yada. Well, guess what? It's not going to be here till this Friday. So it's going to be like 2 weeks, maybe Thursday. But so I can go out there and sell every bit I've got. And then if one of my regulars comes up and says, hey, I need some honey, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have any, or I'm out today, then how do I explain having honey on Saturday again?
In January.
In January. So, you know, sometimes not going out there because I do have honey bottled up. Somebody comes up, I can sell them a bottle of honey, right? A jar of honey, but I'm not pressing the issue till I get those buckets back in hand. Then it'll be business as usual again. There's really
I see your conundrum.
So I did call them and say, hey, what's going on? All the other orders were here in like 2 days. I'm 45 minutes from you. If I knew it was going to be 2 weeks, I would have drove to get it. Now, what they've literally done is they've cost themselves another 2 buckets worth of sale that I would have done this Monday because I would have sold the other one. And my thought process is that if there's this much left in my tank this week and I get 2 more buckets and sell the same amount, well, now by the end of next week, it'll be twice as much. And by the end of the next week, it'll be. So I'm starting to build up a little bit of reserve, but not if they can't get me the honey here, right? From 45 minutes away. So that's, but all of the add-on features, it's weird to me now because I literally have people stopping that don't buy honey. When I say that, obviously every one of my products has honey in it, except for like board butter and bee pollen, right? But they're stopping and buying barbecue sauce and like cinnamon honey butter. Yeah, cinnamon honey butter. I said it right. And so they're getting items, but it's not always runny honey, which is kind of the goal. I would like to sell them runny honey too, but if they still have runny honey, they're coming back and buying sauce and cinnamon cream or cinnamon honey butter or creamed honey or something like that, which is my most profitable items on my table. So that's kind of a goal, but it's going pretty well from that. James never came back. Did he not find the booth or the little thing I was talking about? So yeah, it's been quite interesting from that. So I don't know if you caught when you were coming in. I had a lady stop yesterday. It wasn't a great day, $130 day. Better than a stick in the eye, right? So it was that. But then I had a lady go up yesterday, and she bought a bottle of honey. And then she FaceTimed her sister that lives in another state and got my website. Her sister got my website and just ordered $90 worth of honey. So I'm got that packed up for her to go out tomorrow. So even though I wasn't out there, I still sold something.
Somebody arrived late.
So
yeah, going well. I, as you may have seen on a video, I've approached 3 stores, 3 major retailers, and I'm delivering first order to 2 of those tomorrow. Pretty good orders. So
are they all the same chain, or are they different chains?
Yeah, they're all the same chain.
There he goes.
It's a chain that I've set up, and snap.
Man, brutal. So
well, you didn't see the little thing that said landscape on it, or
no? It just gave me a couple different options. I'll play with it here, see if I can.
It's the apple virus.
He should have had a V8.
He's got a rotten apple.
Oh, there we go. Now that
His feet.
we see your feet.
It's gonna flip. It's gonna
Probably.
flip.
3, 2. I didn't even get it. It was premature.
So this major retailer has a local products program that I'm set up with. So I can approach any of the retailers in that chain with my product, and it's already set up in the system. They can find it. They can sell it.
Do you find the more times that you go in and talk that you're getting more confident, like your spiel is a little tighter? I always found as I sell, I kind of, every time I say it, it might be just a little bit different, tweak it just a little bit different until you find something that works, then just bang, bang, bang over and over.
You know, the experiences I've had, it's not as much a sales pitch as it is a conversation.
Right.
Because these are just real people, and they're usually pretty excited to see new products come in, especially local, because local is so huge these days. And I always show up. Very first thing is a sample. They got to try it because they have to try it to see how that differs from the honey that they have in the store. Because not just another guy with another honey. It's the special, the special guy with the special honey.
Your video worked on me too. I watched all the way to the end. You had one blooper, and I was like, all right, he's going to show it. He's going to show it. You never showed it.
No, I didn't. It wasn't pretty at all.
It wasn't. But you could have looped that thing as a short.
I could have set it to music, eh?
Yeah,
another
like
one bites dust or something.
Black Betty. Oh, Black Betty.
Everybody doesn't know what you're talking about. It's just another video of me falling down on the ice.
Beauty about security cameras, they catch everything.
It's starting to heal. But it cut up my arm pretty good on the ice.
We don't bounce anymore, Brad. Haven't you figured that out?
Well, I bounce a little bit still, but it's still, I'm a pretty big sack of potatoes going down.
Yeah, ouch. And Andy had both his hands full when he did it. So not like he could catch himself, and if he did, he would have hit himself in the head with a bucket.
Yeah, I was carrying a 30-pound pail of honey on one hand. And my sprinkler full of ice melter in the other hand, but it doesn't work that fast.
Never
James,
does.
you should message the bug farmer the link and have him come in, because I see he's having some headaches with some of his colonies.
I know he's been having queen problems and a few things like that. Yep.
Yeah, I saw him open up the box, and the only bee left in the hive was the queen on the top bar.
Yep.
And it looked like it was close to gone.
I'll see if I can get a hold of him. Here, I'll put you on hold, and I'll see if I can get a hold of him.
James, I wanted to ask you though, did you get my little shout out to you on my latest video?
The one where you're anybody can do it?
Yeah. I built this jig. James built one, and I figured if he can do it, anybody can do it.
He's got a point. I can't even argue with that.
I can't even argue with that.
I find a lot of times we can do a lot more things than we think we can, right? It's often just about doing it, getting out and trying to do it.
You know, it's all about the trying. I mean, you and I've talked about that lots, Bob?
Yeah.
Just get out and try it. I mean, you know, don't be afraid to fail. And it's really not a failure. It's just showing you got to succeed a different way. That's all it's doing.
Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it.
Exactly.
Right. That's true.
Part of that process.
And you know, that goes down to everything. I've tried so many different things with my bees. You know, talking to different beekeepers. And guys, I'm not shy when it comes to somebody says, "Hey, try this." I'll go out and do it. You know, and it's like, okay, let's see what happens. You know, now I'm not always the greatest on follow up, right? I'll be honest with you on that. But sometimes it's, you know, like, what was it, a couple years ago? It's probably 3 years ago now or longer. When James, when you said, "Hey, well, just put a double screen board on there and leave them up there and see what happens." And Or, hey, you need to start making stronger splits instead of trying to do these ones and twosies, right? Make them stronger, more bees, more chance of success. And all of that stuff does help, right? Or Brad saying, hey, you need to get your ass out there at the table and be out in the front yard. I don't care if it's -3 degrees. You need to be out there.
I check the weather in Hopkins every morning to see if you should be at work or not.
Yeah, I should have been. Well, it was like 36 or 38 this morning, and I was like, nah, I ain't going out.
Minus 30 this morning here.
Yeah, but you weren't at your damn table either, sir.
I spent a lot of my day outside, though.
But the it's just about doing something, right?
Well, you're not going to get anything if you don't go out there. I mean, if you don't set the table up, the one thing you're guaranteed is probably no sales.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing because I could just get, what was it? It was like a couple hours in yesterday. I'm at $40 or something like that. And then all of a sudden, okay, I finished at 130, which wasn't great. But then I've had the same thing where I start at 40 and I end at 240 or 340 or 580 or, you just never know. But it's, for the most part, if I'm out there a good day, it's been $200-ish day, right? So
$100 even. It's like $100, right?
Yeah, you get $100 a day 5 times a week. This sounds a lot like $500 to me.
That doesn't sound too bad after all, does it?
$2,000 a month. It's
well, and you think of the opposite. You think, well, I'm not gonna bother to go out. You just go out and burn $100 bill in the driveway instead, right?
Oh yeah,
you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, all I have to do is have my wife bring home.
And you think about it. Would you walk to the end of your driveway if somebody had $100 bill there at the end of your driveway? Would you walk to the end of your driveway and get it?
Walk a lot of laps.
I'd walk to the end of the driveway and get it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's true. It's been it's been a learning experience, and it's not so much. I don't know. How can I say this? It's not a honey sales problem. I can sell the honey. It's the getting Bob motivated to get out there problem, right?
I hear you.
It's the fighting that, killing my day before the day starts, right? You get going and you're like, hey, well, it's cloudy. I'm not going out, even though the weather's nice. Or it's finding a reason not to as compared to finding a reason to, and it's very easy to find a reason not to do something.
Yep. Too easy.
Anything. Oh, you know what? I got to go to the bathroom. Well, it's 11:15 now. I'm usually out there at 11. I think I'll just stay in today.
Let me check one more time what's on Facebook.
Yeah. What's in the news today?
Good.
Honey vending machine. Yeah, I've seen some, and I've thought about that, but it's never.
It's not the personal. You need that personal engagement. You need that personal. Communication.
Especially, I think, with my model, because my model is so much predicated off of add-on sales as compared to just regular honey, right?
Yeah. They stop for the honey and they buy other stuff, and it's the other stuff where you make your money.
Yeah, I mean, definitely helps out with that. Now, there's nothing wrong with selling just regular honey. You can make good money doing that. You just have to sell a lot more of it, right? And I just don't know what the when does it dry up? Because there will be times that it's like, oh, well, everybody that is going to come has already come, right? I haven't hit that yet, thank goodness. So we'll see.
Yeah, you'd think that would happen a little quicker than it really happens.
Yeah, because by the time the last people are getting honey, the first people are out again, and then they kind of cycle back through. And plus it's a typical country area, right? When people come, especially if it's slow. If it's slow, I find that I talk to the people to get to know them a little bit more than just honey, right? We talk a lot about bees, but it's just
That's
about,
fantastic.
and it, because of where I am, I'm also getting to meet my neighbors, right? More, and the community more. And which builds strength in my business, because then they say, hey, you know what? There's a guy right over here that you should go see. And it just kind of builds strength in that. Now, if I was in the grocery stores here, I think my honey would be successful because I've done the legwork to build it up with the community, right? So if they see my label on the shelf, oh, that's the guy right up the street. Or, I don't know that I don't know if I could get in those stores. I don't know if I hate to say if I would, because I think it would always be a good thing, because you're going to have much more traffic by that shelf than the front yard. But I would lose definitely a lot of add-on sales for that. But it wouldn't hurt anything. I don't think it would hurt anything being so close to where I'm actually located. But it could, right? They could say, oh, well, it's right here. I'll just get it here instead of going down to see him. So.
Oh yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, that's that local thing, right? People love. I got a guy down the road is where I get my eggs or my chickens or my honey or whatever.
I had
it's all about the story.
You won't have all of those options on the shelf at the store, Bob. I mean, you're always going to have those other options just at your place, right? So I think it would complement it. I don't think it would take from it.
I had a guy stop yesterday, and I love it when this happens, because there was actually a lady here that had never been here, and a guy that pulled up. He wanted to come out, get honey, and go back, right? He was just in and out because he had been here before. And when he came, he says, yeah, we did a side-by-side comparison with your honey and the honey in the store, and there was no comparison, right?
Nope.
And
you can't. I don't know what it is about the store-bought honey. Well, I do know what it is, but I mean, anybody that has honey from the Beekeeper, if you're going to compare that with anything that you get out of the store,
but how much of that is psychological? And I'm going to say that because there's only 69 people here watching that know the story that's going on.
I don't think it's psychological. There's something,
even if it's psychological.
Not putting all adulteration and all foreign honeys aside, even if it's, quote, good domestic, proper, non-adulterated honey, it's still not anywhere. I have customers all the time, they'll phone me, they're a delivery customer, and they say, yeah, we needed delivery quick because we ran out and we went to the store and we got a jar, and no, was that ever awful, right? And I say, yeah, I just say, yeah, don't do that. I'll bring honey.
Well, yeah. I say that because the people that I buy my honey from this time of year have their honey in all of the stores around here. So the only difference between my honey and their honey is the bottle and the label.
I disagree. There's so much more that's different between your honey and their honey.
Well, that's what I'm saying, James. This is the honey that I'm purchasing in. It's the same honey.
It's probably, it's not blended. It's fresh. Who knows how long it's been sitting in that bottle. It probably hasn't been, vacuum pasteurized or a few other things. It's not the same. It's just not the same.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I think pasteurization is one of the big things, because that definitely changes it.
So yeah, no, it is definitely not the same honey.
So I actually am down to 2 jars of bee pollen, which those are things like even the cut comb honey, right? Brad told me, well, get some cut comb honey if you don't have any and see how it goes. So I'm on now my second case of cut comb, and I bought pollen too, which who knew what it was going to do, right? But it's taking a little bit longer, but I'm down to my last 2 jars of that. So I sold 2 jars of that.
Here's one for you. So I started mixing, what do they call it? What do you call that with the nuts? Baklava?
Oh, yeah.
But if you do that with pollen, mix that high percentage of pollen in with your honey.
Uh-huh.
There's a sale for that I didn't even think of.
Just adding more pollen to your honey?
Adding like 50% pollen, fill your jar up, 50%, and then put it in.
50/50. Wow.
That is a premium, absolute premium product.
Just sell them Ultra Bee patties.
You know, you'd be surprised. It shocked me.
I'd have to charge them $20 for a 1 pound bottle.
They'd have no problem. They would have no problem paying that.
I need to make some more of the mix. I need to find a taller, round jar. It's easy to get a spoon into. For the mixed nuts and honey and cinnamon honey. People really like that. Especially in the summer.
Put that in your deli container?
Might be able to.
That's what Kevin does.
They put some in deli containers.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it wasn't. I think that would work well in a deli container, though.
I'm just thinking over vanilla ice cream or really any kind of ice cream.
Oh, yeah. I put that stuff on ice cream.
Be really good.
Yeah, it is.
Get a lot of pollen when you crush and strain. My honey typically has a lot of pollen in it already. You can see it floating.
Last year was the first year we started actually trying and putting pollen traps on our bees, and we'll be doing much more of that and building quite a few more of those, because I didn't realize the demand for that pollen was as high as it is, and every little bit like that you can diversify, that's just cash in the bank.
How do you market that jar with half pollen?
Well, I basically exactly that. It's bee pollen and Old McNally's honey.
So like you sell that at a table somewhere?
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be on our website here shortly as well.
And what's your price premium on that?
Pretty much. Well, it's more than double. So if I was to take the honey and sell the honey, if I was to take the pollen and sell the pollen, when I mix it, I'm doubling my money. So let's say the pollen I would sell for $10 and the honey I'd sell for $10. Theoretically that's a $20 sale. That bottle's going for $40.
Wow.
$40.
And it started off by a couple of customers asking for it. So, okay, I can do that, and away it goes. And it's easier, especially when the honey comes out of the melter, because it's that little bit warmer. So it'll mix a little bit easier as compared to.
Is it like a thick slurry at that point, or does the pollen stay in balls for a little while?
No. So what we end up doing is I end up putting that into the creamed honey, so it stays equally suspended.
Okay. Oh. So you do it as a creamed honey then?
Correct.
So basically a creamed honey with a bunch of nuggets in there.
Exactly.
So you don't grind it up or anything?
No, I try to mix it as little as possible. Try to keep that pollen granule as whole as I possibly can.
Yeah. Cool.
But you think that would mask the bitterness of taking the pollen straight, right?
I don't know what it does. I'll be honest. About the only thing I did is licked off the spoon type thing. But once again, it doesn't matter what I think.
Right.
No, it doesn't.
It's what the customers want, right?
Yeah.
I get that a lot. If someone comes up and they say, "Hey, do you have this? Try me back next week," right?
So
Actually,
would a person like spread that on toast or something? Like what?
I don't know how they're eating it. I know the one customer just eats it by the spoonful.
Yeah.
So they would put usually they'd get the pollen and they put the pollen in with their cereal.
I guess
You
I
know,
guess the only thing you don't want to do is put it in your coffee. That probably wouldn't work.
I don't know what that would be like in the coffee. You'd have all these floaties in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Sterilize
thinking.
it. Probably
Have
would it kill
lumps of
the beneficial stuff or no?
pollen lumps
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
coffee.
That's interesting. I never thought of that. But it
Would
seems
it
like
be? It was like say I never thought of it. It was something the customers asked for, right?
the more new products I put out, the more new products I need to put out.
I think there's a danger. To be
There
honest,
is.
there's a danger of too many SKUs.
Well, for me right now, I kind of like where I'm at. It fits pretty well on the table, and for what I'm doing, because I have a tendency of like candles. I get Big Mike syndrome where I start candles. Next thing I got 200 candles, right?
No market.
Or just overdo it, or start board butter. And next thing you know, I've got boxes of board butter sitting all around, or swarm lure, or because I feel like if I'm going to make it where it lasts me for a while before I have to make it again. Now with the sauces, I do just the opposite. I start off with a few bottles, maybe a dozen bottles, and see how they go. And if they go good, then I remake it and do it that way. But and that's how I
That's a
figure.
product you don't want to make too far in advance either, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, if I make 20 bottles or a couple dozen bottles, it's kind of odd because you think people would be biased one way or another towards sauce, and some people are, which is why I have a second sauce. But I find that oftentimes they'll buy both bottles when they come. Like,
What's
Yeah.
the shelf life on that, Bob?
well, I looked at, I did a internet search on shelf lives, and as long as you bring it up to temperature and make sure that everything is killed in the bottle because it's hot, right? That it should last up to 2 years in the shelf. Now, it's a small bottle, so it's my hopes that everybody goes home and they start using it right away. But once you open it, refrigerate it, and it should last. People ask the same thing, like on the cinnamon honey butter, and I'm like, well, it's honey, which lasts forever, and butter. So I just told the lady, however long you normally keep butter in your refrigerator, keep this the same amount. Don't overdo it.
The other thing that seems to be selling really good up here right now is the beeswax.
Oh yeah, I sold 7 pounds of beeswax this last weekend.
But it makes a difference. You can have the chunks. You got a big chunk, break it apart, sitting there in a box or a bag. They won't sell or they won't buy it. But you put it in that nice beeswax 1 pound block, and you can't keep it on the shelf. So it takes if you're melting it down, put it into those molds. It's just unfortunate those molds cost so darn much.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
Well,
they will last forever though. We've been pouring ours for years.
yeah, I just I just bought a whole bunch because I looked at them at the bee supply stores. I looked at them on Amazon. Um, there was just no way. I mean, I I ordered mine in from, I hate to say it, but from overseas.
Hmm.
Um, Landed here, it was like $10 for
Well,
a block
that's where they get them.
for two 1 pound blocks versus $75. I think was the cheapest I could find it on Amazon, and I think it was like 78 or something at the B stores. It's a
Yeah,
crazy markup.
yeah, we bought ours years ago. They were $40 a piece. Imagine they're a lot more now.
Yeah. Well, I bought a whole case of them, so I mean, I think I've got what eight of them here, so I can pour 16,
Oh wow.
17 pounds at a time now. So
So what have you been up to, James? Anything new beekeeping wise? The bees are all slumbering right
no,
now.
the bees are good. They're starting to move up in the boxes. So I mean, I still got a couple months here, so I'm going to be watching those food supplies very very closely. You know, working on what the option would be is if I do have to feed them in there. They all went into the barn heavy. Starting to see some pretty good bee drop now, but at the same token, you look in the bottom of the box, and if the cluster you see on the bottom is any indication of what's in the box still, I mean, I still got a basketball sized cluster in there. Like it's pretty impressive. So I got to figure out, you know, why. And I think you were right on that, Brad. Take a look at some of the flight late in the fall. We had bad weather; they didn't fly. I think a lot of those bees are probably getting to be quite a few months old.
Mine have
Yeah,
been flying a little
but
bit.
haven't really flown.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that, and I mean, I just got back. I spent a week down in Mississippi. Um, I'm leaving again here on Friday. I'm heading down to Virginia for a week down there. So
What part of Virginia?
going to Franklin,
Franklin,
North Fork.
Norfolk. Oh, okay, that's a big Navy base down there. I've been there before. So you will be in the southeast side, right?
Correct. Yep.
Make sure I'm not lying to you here.
Yeah, the Chesapeake Bay area and stuff is all right around there.
Yeah, they got a cool tunnel that goes under the bay. Franklin, yeah, you're not.
Chesapeake. That's quite a deal. I'd love to drive that sometime. That's a long way.
So yeah, I'll be down
Bridges,
there for a week.
tunnels, the whole thing.
Yeah.
You won't be far from DC.
No, there we go.
Been there.
Let's see. You're not really that far from Charlie at that point.
I don't have Charlie's address. Otherwise, you know what usually ends up happening there, right?
Yeah, you end up sitting in his front yard drinking beer.
And eating ice cream.
Yeah, you're not that far from Charlie. Well, I guess in fairness, that's about probably halfway between between Charlie and me. I don't know this fellow.
You got somebody trying to come in?
Yeah, it says Wiggy attorney. I assume it's attorney at law. Let's see what happens. He's got his camera on. Hello.
It's attorney at law, not whatever you said. You fucked it up. Hey, what's going on?
All right, how are you?
How are you guys doing?
Good. Are you a beekeeper?
No.
Okay.
I thought we were talking about politics. Somebody sent me this link and told me we were talking about politics.
No, it's not. This is a beekeeping chat, man.
Beekeeping?
Yep.
Yes,
what?
Sir.
Is that a thing? Like you keep bees?
It's a sticky situation.
It's all the buzz.
I like your cat. No, your cat is really adorable.
Yeah, he's a big
I love your cat. Okay, yeah. I love your cat.
I do too.
Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute. All right, sorry. All right, yeah, I guess I'm in the wrong place. So my bad.
No problem. Appreciate you coming by. Thanks.
Your cat is adorable.
All the best.
Later, guys.
All right. Hey, it happens. What can you do?
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a brown starfish. We had the brown starfish incident. We're not going back there. But he had his camera on, so he was showing.
Maybe he tried to type a StreamYard link in and typed the wrong letters or something.
That's possible. It's possible. It's possible. But so you're not going to be far from either Charlie or myself, for that matter, or I guess Bill. Shenandoah Bee Supply is that area. Who else? Sourwoods Branch Honey Farms is over that way on the east side. So yeah, there's a few people, and you're close to the North Carolina border, so anybody in the northeast side of North Carolina, you'd be close to as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know how much spare time I'll have, but usually when I go down and do these things at these mills, it's usually 4 or 5 pretty intense days.
Yeah, they're not into wasting much money, right? So they'll fly you in on like a Saturday or Sunday. You work Monday through Friday, and then you either leave Friday night or Saturday morning type deal.
Well, I mean, really, what I do is about reliability and efficiency. So, wasting a bunch of time doesn't exactly promote my job very much.
Showing up late for the meetings and wasting time.
Yeah, I'll be right there. I'm just at the apiary here.
Yeah.
So.
That's funny. That is pretty funny. But yeah, we're a couple weeks away from Blitz and spring kicking off here. As long as
when I was down in Mississippi, things were greening up. Some of the crops in the fields were starting to pop through. Quite a bit different than what we have up here. We're still, well, I can't complain actually. Our weather has been phenomenal, above zero, above freezing up here. Probably the last, I'm going to say week and a half.
Brad and I have been joking. He says it's snowing in Canada. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. It's always cares. It's snowing in Missouri. Oh, it's snowing in Texas. It's snowing. It's like snowing in Canada. Nobody cares.
Well, it was funny because apparently there's supposed to be a snowstorm going through, Norfolk and stuff like that here this weekend, and I'm like, okay, and I was like, so we'll make snowmen. Like, what's the big deal? And they're like, well, we're supposed to get at least an inch.
You don't understand. We'll close down the states.
I just started laughing. It's like, okay, so it's going to be gone in the afternoon. What's the issue?
That's when I'll see James when they close down his company there because of snow. He'll jump in the car and drive down and be sitting in the ice cream in the front yard.
Yeah,
selling honey at the table.
So, but yeah, snow's just it's a regular occurrence up here.
Yeah, I'm sure you're pretty used to it by now.
Well, when I went down, the first time I went down to Tennessee to the first bee expo down there, of course, I came through the Smoky Mountains, up from Atlanta. I drove up and around that way. And they got these big flashing signs, don't go, snow, possible, and, winter driving conditions. And I got about halfway through. There was this really lovely creek on the side of the road. So I parked my car there. I'm sitting down just enjoying, literally in my jeans and t-shirt, and I'm enjoying the sound of the water. There's nobody on the roads, and this ranger came by and wanted to know if I was okay and panicking, and I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He says, well, we don't usually get anybody up here this time of year with these kind of road conditions. And I'm thinking, this is spring weather. Like, man, if I wasn't in the park here, I'd be having a wiener roast. Like, this was fabulous, and they thought I was nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty normal around here. That when I tell you, if they have a freeze warning, they will close the schools down. They don't want the school buses out on the roads and everything else.
Well, I gotta say, it was minus 28 last night and a high of minus 14 today, according to my weather station. But it was actually a really nice day because it was sunny and it wasn't windy. Little tiny breeze. I worked outside quite a while, clearing snow with the tractor. I was dressed, but not heavy duty, and I didn't even wear a hat for the day, and it was quite pleasant out there. I worked out for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, we've been above zero for, I think, every day for the last week and a half.
We had some of that last week, but then it got cold on us.
Well, it's supposed to get cold again Thursday. So Thursday they say a low of minus 22 degrees Celsius and a high of minus 16 degrees Celsius. So
yeah,
we got a couple cold days coming through again.
That's about what we're getting right now. We had a wild weekend. Oh, it was a terrible wild weekend. High winds, blowing snow. We just came out of that warm spell, so all of the snow had an ice sheet on it, right? And then we got a little bit of snow fell, high winds, so
Oh, so
none of that
everything.
snow stuck. It was just a skating rink, and
Oh, yeah.
for 2 days,
It might have
not
been good that you got that little bit of warm weather to lock all that other snow in place.
yeah. Well, having that snowfall on top of that, and then the high winds. It was 2 days that the highways in southern Manitoba were closed.
So you were drifted right in.
There was 18-wheelers lined up down Trans Canada Highway, two abreast for probably 10 or 15 miles.
Wow.
They just couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't see past the hood.
Huh.
And a lot of people ended up in the ditch, and of course, a lot of people
Well,
having crashes.
you guys seem to go from one extreme to the other. I mean, I could see you not seeing the ditches and that. I mean, there was a time out there I couldn't tell you where the ditch was because it was all water.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's so flat. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's so flat and so open, right? And the wind really gets going. That snow comes from miles away when it's blowing.
A little bit goes a long ways.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
So just wait it out, right? It'll come to an end.
I don't want to get into politics per se, James. However, you live right in Alberta. What's the word on the ground about the separation?
Well, the next petition signing here in Grand Prairie is on Thursday, and I'm not sure of the total count, but my understanding is if you go by what the rumor mill is, they've already received enough signatures and they have weeks to go yet. So,
yeah, because I'm always curious. Like, I see posts in my feed and on YouTube and stuff, but that's always somebody's spin on something, right?
Yeah.
So
I can tell you the lineups to get people's names and sign this petition they've been long, just long lines for a long period of time. So there's a lot of people that are they've had enough.
Now, James, to put this in perspective for everybody watching, and we really shouldn't be talking politics, but this petition is a petition to call for a referendum question. Is this not correct?
That is correct.
So this is not the decision. This is the petition to force a referendum to be voted upon in the future at some point.
That is correct.
Right.
So typically,
this is not the decision.
Right.
No, this is the first step towards working towards a decision.
People of Alberta saying, "Hey, this is what we want to do, and now we need to have a vote on it to basically see if it's going to happen."
There's a process. It's like everything. There's a process. So the first process is this, right?
Yeah.
So all of the people showing up for petition are people who are signing a petition in order to raise a question and put the province to a vote.
Correct.
It's not lining up to a petition to separate. It's to cause the process to start.
I got you.
Yeah,
it's the starting blocks.
We know how this happens, right? Right, James. We know how this happens because every 5 to 10 years, Quebec does it.
Correct. Yeah, you go.
Now,
Quebec hasn't done it for a while.
That's interesting. Interesting you say that.
Quebec hasn't done it for 30 years.
So
there you go.
All right. So again, most of the people that are watching are probably from the States and don't have any idea how this thing works, right? But I will bring this back to beekeeping at the end. So it's not a total political question here. As far as so Quebec has done it, but why have they not been successful? Because once they go to vote on it at the mandate referendum, if you will, when they go to vote on the referendum, does it just not pass that point?
Well, and I just looked it up, and it was exactly 30 years ago. Well, in 2025. So that was their question, and it was
very close.
The separatist vote was 49.42%, and the no vote for staying in Canada was 50.58%. So it was
Is there a
Extremely
magic
close.
number it has to be at, or does it just have to be the majority?
I don't know if it
50%
was
plus one.
Yeah, I think it was 50 plus 1. So
Yeah, so they were like a 1.5 away from doing that.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, they figure they're going to get. They figure they'll hit over 1 million signatures on this, so they're fairly confident the question will be posed at the next election.
I'm certain it will be. What's the population of Alberta right now?
Oh, I'd have to look it up.
Well, I'll look that up. I'm on this here.
So, okay, to bring this all back into beekeeping terms. So if this does happen at some point in the future,
5 million.
There you go.
If it does happen at some point in the future, does that then would that allow Alberta to do things like import bees from the United States and things of that nature as well?
Oh, jeez.
So we had to bring it back to beekeeping.
That's a whole nother political hot potato.
If anybody answers that question, Bob, with anything but nobody knows, they're lying to you.
I mean, it's speculation.
They're totally lying to you.
We're talking about speculation here, but I mean, it's just my thought that if you separate from Canada, then you would make your own
Alberta. Speaking bee wise, I think Alberta is in general a fairly pro-American bee import area, so I would say the odds are pretty good. They'd at least have another kick at the can. So,
absolutely, yeah.
And they could formulate their own destiny with that and not listen to Ottawa all the time.
Well, don't get me wrong. A lot of what has got the Albertans going to line up isn't necessarily all of these things. Some of the biggest one is in Canada. Most of the representation is by population. Which is extremely different than what we contribute as a province to equalization throughout Canada, and that's what really gets us. I mean,
you're paying unproportional amounts per capita.
Well, and we get no support. We're kind of we're the ugly stepchild that nobody wants to talk about. Oil rich, but don't sell your oil, but don't slow down on the equalization payments. You
can't sell anything, but the payment's still the same.
Well, exactly, and I mean, can't get it to market because they won't support a pipeline. Same thing with our agriculture. We're not quite the canola producer that Saskatchewan is, but we're probably pretty close. Right. Where do we market it? Certain things have opened up here lately, but at what cost? I mean, some beef, Canadian beef is now flowing. Some canola is now flowing, but at what cost to the everything else? So there's no 100% right answer. Everything is give and take.
Right.
You got to weigh the pros and cons, but when the subsidization payments or the equalization payments, maybe that's what I should call them, subsidize programs down east that we can't get here because we can't afford it, there's a problem.
Right. Yeah, I just think it's interesting, and I'm learning. Hanging with you guys, I'm learning more and more about the process. I mean,
you can get into everything. You can get into the gun laws. You can get into the $10 a day daycare. You can get into the oil and gas. You can get into the energy. There's so much.
$10 a day daycare.
There's so much that's just it's just not.
So they say.
That's
daycare here for somebody in Alberta. You're probably paying $700 a week.
Yeah, that's well, I hope they get whatever they want. right? I mean, that's the best way to put it. If that's what you want, I hope that's what y'all get as far as that. It's obviously I don't have a dog in the hunt other than I've got friends up there, right? So
I'm just wondering where Brad's going to move to here in the province.
Yeah, you need to find me a place, my friend. And I want to know, once the decision is made, do I still have time?
Well, there's some of that too, because they're looking at all of that too. What constitutes your eligibility to vote, right?
Well, I'm not worried about voting.
So,
I just have to, when they decide, if it's that bad, then maybe I'll want to move. Do I still have time to move?
yep. Well, you used to live over here somewhere, didn't you?
I lived in Alberta
So,
years ago when I was a young lad.
well, it's
Edmonton. Lived on North Edmonton.
there you go. So about 5 hours east of me.
Yep. Yeah, I went by the intersection where that highway heads off north a number of times and never took it.
so
I never-
so is Ian. I watch Ian's videos half the time when he goes to BC to get bees, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with the north route?
I haven't seen Ian. I saw a video that he posted up the other day where he was checking a few hives in the
Yep.
building, but he hadn't been on here in the chat for a few weeks. I think he's been under the weather.
I've been down that highway, James, far more times than going to Vancouver, and
Oh, I think you said that.
never went the north route.
So I like the North Country.
I like the north too.
I like the far north and the far south.
Was that a pop or a beer you just opened?
Well, it's a pop. I'm still sideways.
Soda.
Don't spill it. You're gonna spill it. Holding it sideways like that.
If I go like
You're
this,
the only person that comes on here that has that problem.
I have no idea. It never did this until the last update.
It's the apple virus.
Next thing he's going to turn that on. He's going to have to sit on his bearskin rug on the side, like what was it from Seinfeld?
Just be happy I haven't got my onesie on.
Like,
I thought we were going to have onesie night one of these days.
you were
that might be a different chat.
Too funny.
Might be a different chat. I'm not sure.
Yeah, too funny. But back to the bees. So the bees are doing really good. So still big clusters in there. Starting to see. I mean, I don't think we filled a garbage can yet. So with all the bee drops that we have in there, so that's we're just starting to see it. But
that's a new measurement for are my bees doing well? Yeah, there it is. That's a new measurement on how my bees are doing. Well, we haven't filled up a trash can yet.
You know what? How many people I've heard say, well, doing pretty good. We usually get 4 barrels of bees and we've only got 2 barrels of bees or something. It's like, that's scientific measurement. How many dead bees did you collect?
In Ian's case, how many barrels did you fill up?
Yeah, definitely not going to count them. But I've been relying on Alan quite a bit too, being as I've been out of town as much as I have been. So,
well, I mean, this time of year, I mean, it's basically make sure the building stays at temperature, because if they die, there's nothing you can do anyway. I mean,
no. So
I had a couple of small beards again today. That same colony was poking out a bit.
Huh.
Little fist-sized beard coming out again.
I haven't checked them, but now I'm curious. So
it seems to me, and this is not scientific, but I remember the last time in December when I was checking and there was big beards.
Everything
there
turns.
was a low pressure system coming through, and I wonder if that has much to do with it.
I don't know if you can see, but they're right full. Here, I'll do that. They're still right
Yeah,
right full,
right at the entrance. Yeah, that's great.
and it's right across the whole box.
Yeah,
So
hope they have lots of feed.
so they went in heavy,
Yeah,
but at the same token,
never know.
I got a 5%
It's
chance of snow.
it's the big ones that run out of food.
well, that's exactly it. You put them in there with the, no matter how heavy they are, but I've never had colonies this big in there. I don't know what they're going to consume.
That's the variables, right? We take away a lot of variables indoors, but a variable we don't take away is brood rearing, whether that be late brood rearing or early brood rearing. And we also don't account for the variable of cluster size. The
Yep.
cluster sizes are obviously variable and sometimes more variable than others. Of course, there's another variable.
Well, we talked about that when I first started putting them indoors. I mean, I put them in with the full brood rocks and a medium on top of it. And of
Yeah,
course, at the end of the year, you pulled them out, they never even touched the medium.
yeah.
Well, this year, maybe I should have put a medium on them.
Well, you know what? And I fretted about that for quite a number of winters. And the only way that I really got past that was just taking notice of how many colonies that I took out, and you can tell if they starved.
Oh yes, they'll start to chain and everything there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I mean, they eat all the feed first of all, um, and I had almost nothing ever starve. So
Hmm.
in that, I've just learned to trust the process. Get my feed in, feed them up, blah blah blah, put them in the building, take them out, and I
Huh.
haven't had a lot of starvation issues.
Yeah. Well, I remember asking you and Ian on year one when I put them inside, like, how do you know if it's too much bee drop or not? Well, if you take them out in the spring, you still have bees. It was normal.
Yeah,
If you take them out and you don't have bees, it was probably too much.
that's right. That's right.
So,
So when I knew when I said that it wasn't going to be very helpful, but it's still factual.
well, that's basically. I mean, I am taking a look right now at seeing what I can do, to make for lack of better terms, a sugar slug or a fondant slug that I can drop in the feeding hole in the top of the hive.
Yeah.
You know, something to get him some emergency feed if need be. Are all three of you planning for growth this year versus honey production?
I
Well,
wouldn't say I'm planning for growth, but it's always planning for replacing the loss, which is often quite substantial. So there's always a lot of that.
Yeah, it's
myself, as far as growth, it is our intention to fill our equipment. We still did not get back up to where we were 2 years ago when we put them in. But so yes, we do plan on growing to that. Um, so am I making new equipment? Not at this time. I still probably have. Um, I probably can still support 150 colonies, if not more, with the equipment I got. So I
Yeah.
got to get those filled up first.
And I'm not growing. I'm if anything, I'm cutting back a little bit, bring the workload down a little, just preparing for my sunset years.
I think I'm going to try, because I have a pseudo reliable source for honey all year round now. I can be a little bit more aggressive on trying to split. So last year, the conundrum was, well, I need honey for the money flow, but I can't do that. I can't jeopardize that in order to grow. So I split one time and that was it. So we're gonna try to be a little bit hard charging on that this year, a little bit more, and still try to bring in a decent crop. So we'll see.
I lost track how many times I split last year, and it was really colony dependent. If I had a queen that was knocking it out of the park, and she had 6 or 7 frames of brood in there. I was probably splitting, I'd split that one in half and then, get them a new rockin' queen. And it was really colony on colony, depended on colony. But I don't know how many times Ellen and I split last year. A bunch, you know. Oh, I think you're on mute there, Brad. Always intentionally.
He's talking to his wife.
But so are we going to do the same thing again this year? Yes, very likely. We're going to. Our goal is to fill the equipment by the end of the year.
Right, and keep it.
Well, we still don't have a contract with the co-op, so.
But James, you knew. Sorry to interrupt, but you knew by this time last year that you were in trouble, right?
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. And I'm seeing things very, very different in there this year.
Yeah. See, that's good. That should make you sleep a lot better.
It does. Yeah. Now I got other worries.
You always got worries.
That's called farming, right?
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But,
well, I think my nukes look good, and hopefully this whole project works out well. We'll see. My nukes have a bit to make up, I think, but
yeah, I think we knew we were in trouble last year before Christmas, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I definitely sacrificed production last summer for the health of the apiary. Had to get the apiary back rocking and rolling.
Yeah, our honey production last year was about 10% what it was the previous year. So 2024, I think we made about 55,000 pounds. Last year, I think we made 5,800.
Was your yield reasonable?
You're talking based off of the colonies?
Yeah, your per colony production.
Oh, yeah. We split so many times. I would say I'm very happy with the honey production we got. Like I say, you got to remember we split hard and heavy last year, right? We fully knew going into it we were going to be sacrificing the honey production.
And I kind of did similarly, and my yield was 60%.
So
of average.
Got to remember, we started off last year with 11 colonies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't know if she's watching, but those 10 colonies that I got out of Manitoba, I can't say enough of how much that was a lifesaver for us over here.
It's good really bees, man.
So
I know where those came from. It's good bees.
Absolutely. She gave me a hard time because I did replace most of the queens, but I mean those queens I think had already gone through. We knew at least one full season, right? So, but I mean, without that opportunity or without getting those 10 hives and those queens, they did what we needed them to do. They kept things going and they kept things rocking until we could replace them. So I did graft from some of them. So.
Fill in the blanks of those who don't get the inside joke. Is James had a terrible loss last year. He came to Manitoba and bought, was it 10, James, from someone here?
Correct.
And the beekeeper here was a member of my association that I'm in here. And she had started her apiary off of queens from my stock a few years ago. And so the bees that James bought were stocked from my apiary secondhand to take back to Alberta. So that was the inside joke.
I still believe that the industry somehow has to work together. And I believe that if we were to do that, we would be more than self-sufficient, as a country, not just as a province, but as a country with bees. The problem is human nature, greed, and politics. That seems to be what gets in the way of doing that.
There's a lot of, regardless if, there's greed or whatever involved too, there's a lot of beekeepers that just really, they live in isolation,
Could be.
And it's interesting how, those of us who get involved in this online world, we know people from so many different places, different countries, different parts of the world even. And so we think we kind of have a good cross section of all the beekeepers out there. We have no idea.
No, but you know, the
We
interesting
know a
part,
fraction of a percent of the beekeepers out there.
yeah, I mean, you mentioned this YouTube thing. So, I mean, it's no secret. I travel quite a bit, um, you know, but across the U.S., you know, if I'm driving from point A to point B, somebody recognizes you, you know, when you're filling up at a gas station or something, and you know they come by and say hi, and that's great. Um, the first time, no,
Some
second
places
time,
they just drink beer and eat ice cream in your front yard.
well, they do that too, right? You know, I think it was the second time I went down to Grenada. Um, they recognized me down there. I'm just I'm a little tiny YouTuber. I don't have a whole bunch of videos, and I haven't posted any videos in over a year simply because, you know, I got to figure things out before I put anything out there here. But to think you can
It's
go to
tough,
another
isn't it,
country,
buddy? It's tough,
yeah,
isn't it? When you have a big loss or something like that, it's tough to get in front of the camera and start telling people what's going on and all of that. But you know, how do you start saying to somebody, well, this kind of thing is how it works, right? Like
well,
you just
and we
feel like
didn't
such an
know, right?
imposter. At least I do.
Well, I didn't know until I got the tests and the results and everything like this back. You know, I didn't know it was out there, and there was lots of people, you know, messaging, "Where'd you go? And how come you're not posting?" Well, I don't want to. I don't. I want people to learn from my mistakes. I don't want
Yeah.
them to repeat my mistakes, right? So, I mean, I did film a lot of video last year. I do have lots of footage. The trick is until I was 100% sure, and I'm not going to say I'm 100% sure. I'm about 90, 95, 98% sure I've nailed down what the problem was. Um, the proof will be when they come out this year, right? Um, did we make some changes? Absolutely. We had no choice but to make some changes. You know, there's no way you can lose that number of colonies and still stay afloat. I mean, it just doesn't work, right? I mean, no secret. I started the company with a set amount of money. I've worked inside of that. I'm going to continue to work inside of that, and that is all about growing a business. So you can either make it or you don't. So, but you have to know if you're not making it, when to pull the pin and where to call it quits. So it looks like we're going to pull out of this one. Which is a good thing. But I just want to make sure that, like I say, people are learning from my mistakes, not repeating them.
Well, you know, with YouTube, I try to do a lot of lives because it's very unedited. I mean, it's totally unedited unless the internet goes out. And I think that is the most transparent way to do it, right? If you have a beekeeper out there on YouTube and they never have dead colonies, they never have any issues, that's a highly edited program that they're not telling you the whole truth. You don't know the whole truth about what's going on.
Well, I've always tried to be very transparent about that. I mean, if I'm shooting the video out there in the apiary, you guys see the hive when I open it up. Here's what it is, right? You're seeing the frames as I pull the frames out. There's no, oh, this is a good hive, or nope, that's a bad hive. I mean, how many times were we on a live, Bob, where, I'd ask you guys, well, pick one. Which one do you want to open up? Walk over and we'd open that one up. I mean, everybody sees it. So I think that's important, though, is the transparency that, we were talking about it earlier. Don't be afraid to make a mistake, right? You make a mistake, that just tells you that you gotta do things a little bit different.
Hope said, James, did you say you build your pollen traps?
I will be building my pollen traps this year. Yep. I got a couple samples from Brad when I was over there. Not going to build them that way, but I'm taking some things from that. I
Are
took
those
some.
the ones we dragged out of my shed?
Those the ones. Yep.
Yeah. So what style are you going to use?
Um, the biggest one there is what I can find for punch plate. So that metal plate that's in there. So it's
Hmm.
kind of a bit of a cross from the ones that you had and It's the ones that Dancing Bee sells, kind of a bit of a hybrid between those two. Um, you know, I like the drawers at the back, so I can access them at the back. You know, flip the entrance over very, very easily, very, very quickly. But um, have the drawer at the back of the hive, so you can pull that out and change it over very, very, very easily and very, very quickly. So there's a few modifications to what I got there. And well, as you know, my brain's always thinking. So I'm like 3M. I don't make the things out there. I make the things that are out there, hopefully better.
But the so I think back to that question, I think hopefully we answered that one. What we're planning to do. So Brad, you're trying to tighten the things up a little bit. James, you're trying to expand back into your equipment, right? And that's kind of where I'm at. I don't want to fill all of my equipment, but I do want to get my numbers up a little bit and get some safety net. I guess,
Yeah,
Brad, that's the best thing. What you're saying, how you build hives and then some die and you just replace them. So you're basically just keeping everything consistent. You don't want an excessive number of hives. You just want a certain number of hives.
That's what's in my building right now is my safety net. 44 new nukes, 44 new queens.
I'm going to go back to this guy that I watched when I first started, beekeeping. And those words have stuck with me. Build your bees, buy your equipment. I think we all know who said that.
Right.
And
my mentor used to tell me that all the time, and so it's the same guy.
it's the same guy, yeah. So we're gonna work on building. Yeah, we're gonna work on building those bees. I mean, that really stuck with me. Something as simple as that. So build the bees. Now, if we have another good year, yes, this time next year, we'll be madly slapping bottom boards and boxes and pallets together. But it's a huge chunk of money when you stop and think about when you start to expand. Not to mention the plywood and the time that goes into building those pallets. But for every one of those, you need a brood box and probably 4 to 6 honey boxes for each hive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I
mean, each one of them boxes is now $50 a box, $3, and that's only if you figuring $3 a frame.
So I mean, that you're talking for every bottom pallet you build, you're basically building 12 boxes, 120 frames, 2 lids, so that adds up very, very quickly. And I put 40 hives or 20 pallets to an apiary. So you can do the math.
$500 a hive is not an unreasonable budget.
No, so I mean, times 40, I mean that adds up very quickly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Exactly why I don't switch to mediums. It's not because I don't like lifting mediums. I just don't want to pay for them.
Well, that's kind of like I made a statement on a live yesterday that my license hives, or as Charlie says, my license hives.
The license hives.
My license hives do really well over our pseudo winter here, and they seem to hold up really well. So I've thought about shifting to that, but I've got so much equipment now that's not being used that there's no need for me to make a transition into anything at this point. It's only when I need to start replacing stuff that I'll start doing that.
And that's I'm in that right now because I'm trying to do this kind of thing, and I think that I should change to polystyrene boxes and whatnot, and that's expensive. $60 a box or whatever they are.
Well, I'll tell you what, I understand why they priced things the way they did with polystyrene, because what they're doing is a Jedi mind trick. You can't tell me that it's not cheaper to make a polystyrene hive than it is to make a wooden hive. However, what they're saying is, yes, but you won't have to replace this hive for X number of years, where you're already having to replace the wooden one, right? So it becomes a marketing scheme.
Yeah,
I think to some
I don't
degree.
think poly hives last as long as wooden hives.
Well, maybe not in
At
your
all.
case because everything is wax dipped, right? And mine are not. I can tell you without a doubt that here where I'm at, the wooden hives that I've got, termites, carpenter ants, whatever you want to do.
You don't have any wax dipped equipment?
Only the lids that I bought 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Well, critters chew the poly. Mice will go right through them.
Luckily, I haven't had mice issues or skunks or anything like that. But
yeah, so I hope
Yeah,
I don't have a lot of trouble with that.
Wax dipping those wooden ones, that's huge. That wax dipper is probably one of the better pieces of equipment I've ever built.
Yeah,
It just renews a box and a bottom, and it almost, we re-dipped everything there that one year just to re-sterilize everything. I mean, it's so handy, so easily, and so just refresh everything.
we know who's got the money that can afford all that wax.
yeah.
It's the cost of doing business, man. Wax or paint, and take your choice. And then when you start adding in the labor to paint your boxes every time, that wax becomes the the favorable item very, very quickly.
Oh, if I had, well, what I'll say is when I started beekeeping here, I didn't hear of many people doing wax dipping here in the States. After that couple years, then I started seeing people like Greg Burns and people like that advertising that they're wax dipping. But yeah, I can definitely see the benefit because I don't like to paint them either. It would be much quicker to do, and if they last longer, then it makes sense, right? But it's that initial investment of buying the wax and the dipper and everything else. And matter of fact, unless I'm mistaken, and I could be, so someone will probably call me out on it, but with Greg Burns, I believe he's made a whole SKU off of a wax dipped colony that he doesn't even make the boxes. He just wax dips somebody else's boxes. And hey, good for him.
I think the bug farmer, I think he's selling boxes and stuff now, but he actually
Yeah,
makes all his own. Right?
He's making his own.
Yeah, he's a pretty avid woodworker as well. So, he's.
I saw on his site he's got a little store thing where you can buy boxes and whatnot.
Yeah. And he's got a pretty nice little wood shop there too, and he's pretty handy in the wood shop there. So.
I apologize, I'm eating dinner while I'm talking to you guys.
I noticed.
That's right. We had pizza tonight, so I'm all filled up and all fed up.
I'm fed up too.
Korean barbecue.
So,
Brad, your dipper figure 2 pounds per box?
2 pounds of wax?
I don't think so.
No, not even close.
I don't know. Do you have a stat on that, James?
I do. Let me open up here, see if I can open up my.
It can't be much because they don't charge me that much to dip a box. Well, no. I don't have them dip boxes. I don't pay them to dip. I don't buy boxes. I'll buy sixes, but any boxes I buy are already dipped, so I don't see that cost. It's built in. But a two-way pallet costs me about $7 or something.
So you take 10 pallets over there, and $70 later, you're done. It's not bad.
Oh yeah, it's super easy too, and they'll usually fit me in and dip while I wait if it's not too big an order. You know, if I have 30 or 40 pallets that I want to wait for,
Right.
it takes them an hour. Like, I mean, I'm there an hour. And then
So
just,
the wax blocks that we build, they're about 15 pounds each. So the numbers that I got here, so every time we would add one block of each, so that I'd add 30 pounds of wax, I would do about 62 boxes before I'd have to re-add. So that's less than half a pound per box. So 0.4 was it 4387 basically. So
Not bad.
yeah,
so
I think
60
wax dip boxes would be ideal for DC because they wouldn't absorb the atmospheric moisture.
the ants don't like them either. You know, they'll crawl through them. The ants will get on them and go into the hive, but they don't seem to affect the, you know, the plywood bottom box or the, you know, they don't tunnel into any of them or
I've
anything like
noticed
that
any of
either.
that. Like I get that white fluffy mold sometimes coming out of
Yeah,
winter, and I do have a few boxes that aren't dipped, and boy, the ones that are just painted and are just plain wood inside,
fuzzy.
they'll mold way faster than a wax
Yeah.
dip box, and way worse.
Well, you see, that's where having this wax dipper comes in handy because you're going through, you see things like that, set it off to the side. We can fire that, you know, fire that thing up. You
Yeah,
know, it takes probably, I'm going to say 2.5 hours to come up to temperature. You know, but I mean, it's all thermostatically controlled. You crank that thing on, you walk away, you come back a couple hours later. I
You
mean,
use
you can fire a lot of boxes through there in a big hurry.
are you using electric for that one, or are you using
No, it's
gas?
gas fired. Yeah, it's gas fired. It works out well, and the I just got to get it finished. Of course, it's one of these things too where you know still haven't got it 100% finished, but when it's done, the heat from the burners heats the tray, the drip tray where I set the boxes,
yeah,
and that kind of dries the boxes off. The boxes sit up off that, but anything that drips off those boxes goes right down that tray,
back to the tank.
right back into the tank. So
So is the flame control on that is that electric? Is that need
no,
electricity to run or
no, it's 100% self sufficient. So
oh it's
that
all
runs off of a thermopile.
mechanical?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, millivoltage to run the gas valve.
yeah, interesting.
So yeah, I could put that on my trailer. I could take it anywhere. It'll work
Well, I
about
have
anywhere.
I have 2 or 3 people in my life with dippers, so it's certainly not worth my while to
There
bother
you
with
go.
one.
And of course, I built that one so I can put, I think it's what, 5 pallets, 4 or 5 pallet bottoms I can put in it at a time,
Oh yeah.
you know. So, I mean, it works very well.
When I first started getting my pallets dipped, my dipper guy has upgraded his dipping system a couple times since I've started going there. When I first started building them, he didn't have a cradle. Like all his stuff goes in a big cradle and lifts it up with a crane and
Yep.
puts it in. And he didn't have a cradle that fit my pallets, so he dipped them by hand,
Ooh.
and it wasn't deep enough, so he'd have to dip it and then he'd turn it over and dip it the other side,
Oh,
the other way.
that gets hot really quick.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a bit of a pain.
You know, and well, even when I made mine, I mean, I took learnings from everybody. You had the one gentleman there that didn't hold them up off the bottom, so I think initially they would burn the bottoms, right?
Scorched them, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I made mine so I have that grate in the bottom, the standoff, and you know the drain valve, and you know it's this stuff. You know, pay attention to everybody else if you're going to fabricate one, and then away you go, and um, you know it works out well. You need a little bit of a skill set to do that kind of stuff, but at the same token, you know it sure turns out nice.
See, we've been going an hour and 35 minutes. Hour and 35. We haven't seen Doug tonight. Doug didn't pop in. Hopefully he's doing well. Haven't seen Ian in the chat tonight. Hopefully he's doing well. Hopefully he's recovering.
He's starting to feel better. Chit-chatted with him a little bit on Messenger today. So he's around.
I've been battling this sinus cold since, well, I picked this up somewhere down in Mississippi. So actually, I think they were trying to melt this Canadian down there. So they were talking about how cold it was, and it was like 26, 28 degrees. And you go from
Cool for us, man.
you go from northern Alberta down to 26 degrees like that, and I might as well just kept going to Grenada. The difference is in Grenada, I'd only be wearing my swimming trunks and I'd be able to jump in the ocean anytime. 26 degrees down in Mississippi, sitting in the office, you're just sitting there in this pool, a melted Canadian.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. And, you know how we do back here. We'll look at Sideways James. That's going to be... You need to change that. From now on, it's not Old McNally's Honey James. It's going to be Sideways James.
Sideways James.
I got to figure that out. It was this last update, this last iOS update. Otherwise, it's never done this before. But the last couple times I tried to come in, I've always been sideways. But this will be your thumbnail. Sure as shooting. What you'll go up is me on the side here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know if he would say. I'm always curious of where exactly DC is because I'm familiar with that area, and because I lived in Vancouver for a while, and I had a heartthrob in Seattle, so.
Well,
I'm
if
familiar
anybody's
with that
watching
area.
and they are down around that neck of the woods, drop me a line. You never know where I might end up. I've been known to cross a state or two.
Yeah, with a quickness too. He'll get up like the ass crack of dawn and be at your house before you wake up.
Just have some ice cream and beer on hand.
That's it. It's cold enough up there right now. You could just leave it in a box on the front porch, and with a big sign that says James with an arrow.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you on the next stream. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you next week.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody. Say
Have a
good night,
good night.
Mr. Bootsy.